So today I'm making a personalized decorative wine bottle. The first thing I did was I took an old wine bottle, I washed it, I gave it a scuff sand with 220 grit sandpaper, I primed it and gave it 2 coats of white paint. Then I came in with my IOD frames mold and I cast that mold that you see there, and I am going to position it on the bottle and secure it with some Titebond glue and set it aside to let it dry. So now I'm coming in with IOD's Dainty Flourishes mold, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a simple band going around the bottle attaching to the frame. I don't want to have too many of the castings. I just want it to be a simple band going around the bottle, but these molds are really very pretty and dainty and they have some movement, so they're the perfect casting to use for the effect that I'm going for. So I let the castings dry for about 15 minutes, and then I went in and I gave them a coat of sealer. Then I put them aside, I let them dry overnight, and I came in and I gave them a coat of white paint. I let that dry for about an hour, and then I go in and I seal the entire bottle. I knew I wanted to use this bottle in with my Halloween theme, and I printed out a picture of my beautiful cousin Donna in her witch's costume, and I am going to use that in the frame mold. So what I did was I cut it out to size, and then I made little snip marks along the edge so that it would bend and conform to the shape, and because it's kind of like a dome shape. And I'm just going to rub it in, and it's going to be wrinkly and it's not going to be perfect, and that's absolutely fine. It's Halloween and I wanted it to have that kind of a vibe. You could also do this with Christmas if you wanted to, but for this one I definitely wanted to go with the grungy glam kind of a look, and this was the perfect picture and the perfect bottle. So once the Mod Podge is dried, I come in with 3 different waxes. The first one is the clear wax, and I go all over the bottle with the wax. I'm a really big fan of waxing because you have a lot of flexibility. You can do a lot of different kind of techniques. So if you're just new to this kind of decorating bottles or books or any frames or anything like that, I'm a big fan of waxes. The first thing you do is use the clear wax and go over the entire project. And that is kind of like your base coat, and that gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to wipe back, and really gives you a lot of working time. So the first thing you do is wax the entire piece with the clear wax. Once that's done, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start highlighting. So I have a black wax and I have a gray wax. Actually, it's Dixie Belle's Grunge Gray and Dixie Belle's Best Dang Black Wax or something like that. And I go in with the black wax first into the deeper crevices, and I'm going to just really work it in into the grooves and then wipe it back. And I'm just going to keep on going until I get the desired effect. And if it goes too dark, I'll wipe it back, and then I'll start adding the gray to kind of fade it into the background. And I know I don't want it to fade too much on this one. I just kind of want enough for it to be a shadow effect, if that makes sense. I'm also going to do that same effect on the bottom of the bottle and on the top and the neck, just fading it in, doing the black, wiping it on, rubbing it back a little, adding the grunge gray, just fading it in. Again, I'm such a huge fan of using the waxes. You really have a lot of work time with them. As you can see, I'm just going in, rubbing on, wiping back, and just repeating until I get the look that I'm going for. Now I'm coming in with this really cool rhinestone ribbon that I got from Michael's, and I just cut some strips to size. I knew I wanted to put them on the neck, which is why I didn't really go up and down the neck with the wax so much. And I'm just going to simply hot glue it and cut it to size, and you want to make sure that it gets down as best you can, and without glue showing. And I really want to give it that glam grunge look, and this ribbon is exactly the perfect thing for this project. So last but not least, I need to top this bottle, and for this I'm going to use this finial that I got off of an old lamp that we had, and I'm just going to paint it black and give it a dry brush of white and just glue it onto the top. I'm not going to seal it. I'm not going to prime it. I don't really think you need to. It's it's a decoration piece and no one's really going to be touching it. And here's my decorative Grungy meets Glam Halloween bottle. I think it came out great. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.